Shalom, shalom, family. It is Monday and time for Vessel Light Up. And today we are discussing all about our soul. So, as people, we are spirits living in a body, and we also have a soul. So, our soul is made up of our mind, feelings, desires, and our personalities in a nutshell. And you would be surprised as to how many things the soul can do and the many things that can be done to our souls. Amongst the things that can be done to our souls is that the soul can be persecuted. We find this in Psalms 143 verse 3, where David prays to Yahweh about the enemy persecuting his soul, meaning the soul can be harassed and ill-treated essentially. The soul can also be destroyed, and we find this in Matthew 10 verse 28, where Jesus encourages people to not fear those who can kill the body, but that they should fear Yahweh, who is able to kill both soul and body. But today, we are going to be discussing the fragmentation of our souls. Fragmentation means our soul has been torn into pieces and shattered. It has not been destroyed utterly, but it is essentially not whole and healed anymore. It has wounds and some parts of it are missing. So now, what is the cause of soul fragmentation? Before we get into specifics, family, it is important to note that there are many different causes of soul fragmentation, because anything that causes people trauma and intense stress to the body and mind can cause soul fragmentation. Anything that comes from demonic influences causes soul fragmentation too. So what exactly are the causes of soul fragmentation? The first one is physical trauma, such as any type of abuse, domestic violence, especially sexual abuse too. Emotional trauma, especially for those in toxic relationships, that can also cause soul fragmentation. Witchcraft in the bloodline, as it passes down demons that fragment the soul. This also is in line with generational curses. Demonic oppression, and unforgiveness, bitterness, and hardness of heart, because these three only hurt us and not the other people we do it to. And anything that causes trauma or intense stress to the body and soul and mind causes soul fragmentation. As we continue with the causes, another cause is making covenants with people by blood to prove that we will be friends forever or lovers forever. This means you have given yourself wholly to a person, and should any rejection or betrayal happen, we are going to be left with an unimaginable pain that shatters our soul. Drug and alcohol abuse also fragments the soul as much as it damages the body. Demonic implantations, whereby demons plant things into our systems through dreams, can also fragment our soul. Severe rejection and heartbreak from ungodly relationships also does this, because we leave those relationships with bad experiences that shape how we feel about certain people and situations. As we learn about this causes, family, it is important that we make sure we protect ourselves from these things and our children also, especially our children, because the devil targets children to trauma them from childhood so that it can grow on them and cause heavy oppression. Our Father designed the soul to become one with Him so that we can be able to fellowship with Him. That means the soul is created to receive and absorb the love of God and all good things that flow from Him. That means it is an automatic shock absorber. So when introduced to bad, demonic, stressful, and traumatic experiences, that becomes a huge problem for the soul. Hence, soul fragmentation is a really serious thing that we need to be healed from through deliverance. It is dangerous because unclean spirits can also attach themselves to any part of our soul that is fragmented. And when a demon enters, it is determined to fragment it further, to fragment our souls further, because their assignment is to always kill, steal, and destroy. So, on today's episode, we just learned about the things that can damage our souls, the things that can break our souls into pieces. And as we learn about these causes, it is imperative that we make sure that we protect ourselves, our children, or any of our loved ones from these things. We are going to be continuing next week with signs to see that your soul has been fragmented, as many of us have been through traumatic experience that might have caused soul fragmentation. So be tuned for next week's episode as we discuss the signs, and as we go on, we will be discussing ways in which we can heal and deal from soul fragmentation. God bless you, family. Shalom.